I think that was what Jeremiah was talking about. So the question is, when our suffering is because of other people's suffering. So I empathize with the Syrian refugees. I empathize with, and so my heart goes out to the mom that lost her daughter in a drunk driving crash. Like I grieve and feel that pain. I think it's a very human emotion. I think it's the image of God in us. I think what we learn from Jesus is it makes it that much easier to see the compassion side of God, that God too feels that. It's not as if it's missed on him. And so I think what I would say is how do you deal with that suffering? I think you acknowledge it. My heart is broken over suffering and injustice in the world. It's not the way it's supposed to be. It's not the way God designed it to be. So I'm very broken by this. And then the next question is, well, then why does it still exist? And to that, it's I don't know. I don't know that Scripture says we know fully, but what we do know is that there is a plan to fix what's broken in the world so that there will no longer be this suffering, And so even though we don't know when or how, that's the faith part that we grab hold of with regard to general suffering or pain in the world, is that, God, your ways are higher than my ways. I know you're good. I know you have a plan. I'll continue to trust that. And then frankly, I also now begin to learn as I'm leaning into you, that part of your answer for the suffering in the world is for people like me who understand your character and your heart to begin to fight injustice, or to stick up for the vulnerable, or to come alongside the grieving and to grieve with them. And so, it becomes an interesting conversation, but I think what ultimately happens is it's a part of our maturation, it's a part of our discipleship to be broken on one hand and to then be wounded healers on the other hand. And I think what's beautiful about that picture is nothing of this smacks of the consumeristic Christianity that we typically deal with, which is, God, how do I get more? More. How can you answer more of my prayers? Give me more of the stuff I want. Take me out of the pain that I'm feeling. Me. So I think there's a really healthy thing when we're broken over the pain and suffering that we see in the world, and then in that begin to move forward. Does that help a little bit? Is that getting at it? It's a really important question. It's a really important question.